Hello my dear friends, welcome to another tutorial of my channel. Today I'm gonna make this beautiful and super easy top-down crochet beanie hat. This hat is made by puff stitches and front post double crochets for the body and front post and back posts for the brim of the hat. I made that for adult size, and I used a worsted weight yarn and number 5.5 millimeters hook for this part, the body of the hat, and number 5 millimeters hook for the brim of the hat. We're going to start the hat from here with making a circle and increase the diameter of the circle until reach the desired circumference of head, and after that make this part for the body of the hat, and when we reach the desired height start the brim of the hat. If you're ready, let's get started. For the beginning, make a slip knot with larger hook and then make 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then make 1 slip stitch into the first chain just made. Grab the yarn and pull it through. And pull through this loop on the hook to create 1 ring. And we should start the first round into this ring. And now I'm going to make the first puff stitch into the ring. So pull up this loop. Then yarn over, insert the hook into the ring and pull a long loop. Again, yarn over, go to the ring and pull a long loop. And again, yarn over and pull a long loop from the ring. And now I have 7 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through all of them and then make 2 chains. Again, make 1 puff stitch into the ring. Yarn over, pull a loop from the ring. Yarn over, pull a long loop from the ring, and repeat that work one more time to have 7 loops on the hook. And now yarn over, pull through all of these loops and make 2 chains. Again, make next puff stitch into the ring. 1, 2, and 3. And yarn over, pull through all loops on the hook and then make 2 chains. And after that we should repeat this work 3 more times to have 6 puff stitches in total at the end of round 1. Round 1 is finished and we have 6 puff stitches and 6 chain 2 spaces, and after the last chain 2 space make 1 slip stitch at top of the first puff stitch here. And now start round 2 with making 1 puff stitch into the last chain 2 space of previous round here. So pull up this loop, yarn over, and pull a loop from the last chain 2 space of previous round. One more time, yarn over, pull a loop from the same space, and yarn over, pull a loop from the same space for the last time, and yarn over, pull through all 7 loops on the hook and make 1 chain only. Now go to the next chain 2 space here and work 2 puff stitches. Yarn over, 1, 2, 3. After this puff stitch, make 3 chains. 1, 2, and 3. Again, yarn over, go to the same space and make another puff stitch. And yarn over, pull through all loops on the hook. And after that, make 1 chain only. After the first puff stitch, make 3 chains, but after the second puff stitch, make 1 chain. Go to the next chain 2 space and repeat that work. Make the first puff stitch, 1, 2, 3, and yarn over, pull through all loops, then make 3 chains. Make another puff stitch into the same space, and after that, make 1 chain. And continue this sequence into each chain 2 space, make 1 puff stitch, 3 chains, 1 puff stitch, 1 chain. Continue until the end. At the end of round 2, I'm going to make 1 puff stitch into this space because I made 1 puff stitch into that at the beginning only. So insert the hook into the last chain 2 space and make the last puff stitch. and after that make 3 chains, and then make 1 slip stitch at top of this puff stitch, the first puff stitch here. Okay, and now round 2 is finished. Start round 3 with making 1 puff stitch into this chain 3 space. Okay, pull up this loop and yarn over, insert into the space, pull a loop, again yarn over, pull a loop from the same space, and yarn over, pull a loop from the same space again, and pull through all loops on the hook, and after that make 1 chain only. In this round we should skip all of these chain 1 spaces and make 3 puff stitches into each chain 3 space. Okay, so after this puff stitch and chain 1, skip the next chain 1 space here, go to the next chain 3 space, make 1 puff stitch, 1, 2, and 3, then make 2 chains, make another puff stitch into the same space, 1, 2, and 3, again chain 2, and make the 3rd puff stitch into the same space, 1, 2, and 3, and after the 3rd puff stitch make 1 chain only. Repeat that work. Skip next chain 1 space, go to the next chain 3 space, and make 3 puff stitch into that, 1, 2, 3. After the 1st puff stitch make 2 chains, again 1, 2, and 3. After the 2nd puff stitch, again make 2 chains, and for last time make 1, 2, and 3, and after the 3rd puff stitch make 1 chain only, and continue this sequence. We should skip all of chain 1 spaces and make 3 puff stitches into each chain 3 space, and after the last puff stitch make 1 chain only. Continue until the end. Now I'm at the end of round 3, and I should make another 2 puff stitches into this chain 3 space. Okay, so skip this chain 1 space and make 2 puff stitch here into the last chain 3 space of previous round, because I made a puff stitch at the beginning of the round into the space. So yarn over and make 1 puff stitch, chain 2, after the 1st puff stitch make chain 2, again 2 puff stitch, after the 2nd puff stitch make a chain 2 space, and now make 1 slip stitch at top of the 1st puff stitch to complete the last repeat. Round 3 is finished. Start round 4 with making 1 puff stitch into the last chain space here, so pull up a loop from the space, again yarn over, pull a loop, and yarn over, pull a long loop, and now yarn over, pull through all loops, then make 1 chain. Okay, in this round, round 4, we should make 1 double crochet into each chain 1 space, and at top of the middle puff stitch of each group of 3 puff stitches, and make 2 puff stitch into each of these chain 2 spaces. Okay, so start the work with making 1 double crochet into this chain 1 space, don't skip that, then go into chain 2 space without chaining and make 1 puff stitch here, and after that make 1 chain only, not 2 chain or 3 chains, and again make another puff stitch into the same chain space, and then make 1 chain. After that make 1 double crochet at top of the 2nd puff of these 3 puff stitches here. Okay, and without chaining go to the next chain 2 space and make 2 puff stitches here, and after each puff make 1 chain only. This is the first puff, and make the next puff into the same stitch, same space, and then make 1 chain, and repeat that work. Go to the next chain 1 space here and work 1 double crochet, and then go to the first chain two space of these two chain two spaces and make 2 puff stitches and 1 chain, again another puff stitch into the same space and 1 chain, and after that make 1 double crochet at top of the second puff here, and again make 2 puff stitches into the next chain two space, 1, chain 1 and 2. And then make 1 chain and continue this sequence until the end of the round. Okay, round 4 is finished, and at the end I made another puff stitch into the last chain space of previous round where I made the first puff stitch of the round, and after that I made 1 chain and 1 slip stitch at top of the first puff stitch, and we have 2 puff stitches in this chain space such as other spaces. Okay, now start round 5 with making 1 puff stitch into the last chain space, and then make a chain. Okay, now in this round we should make 1 front post double crochet around each double crochet and make 1 double crochet into each chain 1 space. I have 1 chain 1 space before this double crochet, make 1 double crochet into that, and after that make 1 front post double crochet around next double crochet. Okay, and then go to this chain 1 space between these 2 puff stitches and make 2 puffs here, and after each puff make a chain. Okay, and repeat this work. Go to this chain 1 here before this double crochet, make 1 double crochet into that and make 1 front post double crochet around next double crochet, and after that go to the chain 1 space between these 2 puff stitches and make 2 puffs here with chain 1 after each of them. One and 2, and continue this sequence until the end. 1 double crochet here, 1 front post double crochet here, then go to chain 1 space between next 2 puffs and make 2 puffs into that, and continue until the end of the round. Now I'm at the end of round 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and in next round, round 6, we don't need to increase the number of stitches, and we should make the same stitches. Okay, after making the puff stitch into the last chain space, go around these 2 stitches and skip this chain 1 and make 1 front post double crochet around each of them. And then go to the chain 1 space between these 2 puff stitches and make 2 puffs here. Make a chain and make another puff stitch into the same space, and again make 1 chain, and repeat this sequence. Skip the chain 1 and make 1 front post double crochet around each of next 2 stitches, and after that make 2 puffs into the next chain 1 space between these 2 puffs. Make a chain and repeat that work. 1 chain, and continue this sequence. Make 1 front post double crochet around each double crochet and each front post of previous round, and then make 2 puffs into each chain 1 space, and after each puff make 1 chain. Okay, round 6 is finished. 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and after that we should repeat this round 6, and make 1 front post double crochet around each front post of previous round, and make 2 puffs into each chain 1 space between 2 puffs of previous round, and continue this work and repeat this round 6 several times until when we fold this circle in half, the height of the hat from here reaches the desired size. Okay, so I will repeat round 6 several more times and then I'll come back. Okay, I repeated round 6 this round 11 more times, and now the height of my hat is enough, but you may need to repeat this round more than me or less than me based on your hat size. And now I'm ready to start the brim of the hat. So with smaller hook, make 3 chains as the first double crochet, and after that make 1 double crochet into this space, then make 1 front post double crochet around each of next 2 front posts, 1 and 2. Now make 1 double crochet into this space here, and then make 1 decrease double crochet over next puff and next chain space. So yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch at top of the next puff, pull up a loop, go to the next chain space and pull a loop. Now yarn over, pull through first 3 loops on the hook, and then yarn over, pull through next 2 loops to create 1 decrease double crochet. After that make 1 double crochet at top of the second puff, and then make 1 double crochet into the space between this puff and this front post double crochet, and repeat this sequence. Make 1 front post around each of next 2 front posts, 1 double crochet into the space after the front posts, 1 decrease double crochet over this stitch and this space, insert the hook at top of the first puff and pull a loop, and then go to the next chain space and pull a loop, yarn over, pull through first 3, and then yarn over, pull through next 2, then make 1 double crochet at top of next puff, the second puff, and then make 1 double crochet into the chain space after the second puff. And again repeat that work. Continue this sequence until the end of the round. Okay, I'm at the end of this round. I made 2 front posts, 1 double crochet into the space, and 1 decrease double crochet at top of this puff and this chain space. And now make 1 slip stitch into the 3rd chain here, and the round is finished. And now start next round with making 1 front post single crochet around this first stitch, these 3 chains. So insert the hook around the stitch and pull a loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then make 2 chains. This front post single crochet and chain 2 count as the first front post double crochet. Okay, now make 1 back post double crochet around this stitch, the next double crochet, then make 1 front post around each of next 2 front posts, 1 and 2. After that make 1 back post around the next, and 1 front post around next decrease and next double crochet, 1 and 2. Then make 1 back post double crochet around the next. Actually, we should work 2 front posts, 1 back post, again 2 front posts, 1 back posts, and repeat these 6 stitches. Make 1 front post around each front post, 1 and 2. Then make 1 back post around the next double crochet, After that, make one front post around next decrease and next double crochet here and here, and then make one back post around the next, and continue this sequence. Make 2 front posts, 1 back post, and repeat that work until the end. Okay, at the end, make 1 front post around the last decrease double crochet, and then make 1 slip stitch here at top of the second chain into the second chain after the front post single crochet. Okay, and then in this round, next round and other rounds, we should work 1 front post around each front post of previous round and 1 back post around each back post, and start the round with making 1 front post single crochet and chain 2 as the first front post double crochet, and make 1 back post around the back post and 1 front post around the front post. Again, 1 back post around the next back post and 1 front post around each of next 2 front posts, and continue this sequence until the end, and then repeat this round several times, and then repeat this round as many as you reach the desired height for your brim. Okay, I made the brim of the hat with only 4 rounds, and after that attached a pom-pom at top of the hat. And now my beautiful beanie hat is ready. I hope you make this hat and enjoy that. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Have a nice day.